We're back underway here at Meadow Lane. 48 minutes on the clock. Some internet connection issues this evening, but doing our best to bring tonight's game to you live on our YouTube channel. So thank you for your patience and thank you for tuning in. The Reds lead 2-0. And it'll be a West Brom throw on halfway. Back in quickly there to dispossess Zahort. Tidy work from the Reds, sees them move away from danger. Here's Sanders. Donnelly back to Smith. Some minutes for Jordan Smith tonight. Here's Fernandez. Good work there from the Reds. Smith's low pass found Swan. He showed good awareness to find Hammond, who was fouled. That'll be Fornart to get the Reds moving. An ambitious pass to Donnelly, which runs for a West Brom throw with Teixeira. Neat turn there from the Albion forward as he switches play to the left. Fornart over quickly. Forest playing a diamond formation this evening, which allows West Brom a little bit of joy in the fullback area. But Fornart is across and he's fouled for a Forest free kick. It's a cold, crisp evening here at Meadow Lane, as Forest forced back a couple of yards for the free kick. Here's Hammond under pressure, almost gets a second opportunity, but West Brom move breaks down there and it starts again with Smith. Fernandez. Forest will be looking to start the second half quickly, add to their 2-goal advantage. Plenty of options on the bench for Andy Reid tonight. Rezat Rama, Billy Fuster, Alex Gibson-Hammond, who scored what looked like a late winner at the City Ground for Forest under-23s against Burnley under-23s a month or so ago. 92nd minute goal for the winger, but it was cancelled out a minute later by Anthony Driscoll-Glennon. Reds earning a 1-1 draw that night in an entertaining game. And it'll be a Forest throw on the right-hand side now with Finn back. Fornart gets into a forward position and almost gets into the penalty area, but West Brom defend well. Pressure from Larson. He's adjudged to have fouled his marker there. It's a free kick on Zach Ashworth. Just to bring George in. George, Forest 2-0 up, 2-0 to the good. Your thoughts on the second half coming up?
Well, I think it's massively important that they don't fall into the the usual traps like they did against Fulham. They went into the break a goal up there, and obviously Andy Reid was disappointed. A slight change in midfield led to Fulham getting 2 goals there, but look fairly comfortable so far. I'm really impressed with what Tyrese Fornar's doing, playing in a more of an 8 We normally see him playing as a holding midfielder, but I think Josh Barnes doing that role really well tonight. But Forner using his his physical presence and his size to full effect and driving some runs forward, and he's been a real nuisance going forward. So no, big 45 minutes coming up. I think they're settling into this nicely as Aaron Donnelly gets swayed down the left-hand side.
Here is Donnelly. It's a dangerous cross into the box. It'll fall for Larson on the right-hand side. And Larson does well to win a throw in there. Andy Reid has been very complimentary of Julian Larson so far this season. He's come back a different player following the pandemic and the lockdown. And he's really hit the ground running this season in Premier League 2 Division 2. Plenty of forward options for the Reds. Obviously Larson, Swan, Dale Taylor on the bench, Lewis Salmon not involved tonight. Atif Kanate on the ball now. So he looks to work his way into the penalty area and wins a corner. Here is Kanate, out swinging corner from the right hand side, almost finds Sanders at the near post, but he can't quite get a glancing header on it. Forest will build again from the halfway line. Barnes with an ambitious pass towards Donnelly. Fornart in quickly to win possession. Good work there from Tyrese. It's back to Barnes. Plenty of experience in the middle of the park for Forest tonight with Fornart and Barnes. Here is Larson. Can he get a right-footed shot away? He can, but it's well blocked. Forest have another opportunity. Here's Kanate on the right-hand side now. Looks to work a yard of space, but he's crowded out, and West Brom can get the ball clear. And here is Fornart again, enjoying that role further forward tonight, giving him licence to join in with the attacks with Josh Barnes here on the ball, sitting in front of the back four. Here's Fernandez to step out of defence, has back on his right hand side. Back's dangerous delivery almost finds Swan. It was a good run from the young forward, but I think the referee has awarded West Brom a free kick. He has. But a dangerous ball in there from back. He's got that in his locker. And Forest will be looking to get their fullbacks high and wide again in this second half. Especially, as we mentioned, in this diamond formation, it allows room for the fullbacks to get forward for both sides. And it remains 2-0 to Forest after 55 minutes here at Meadow Lane. Jordan Smith yet to really be troubled in the Forest goal, as Forest look to attack here with Hammond. Almost threads through Kanate, but West Brom read that well. There's a foul from back on Ashworth. It'll be a free kick to the visitors. A decent sized crowd here at Meadow Lane this evening supporting Andy Reid's side. It will mean a lot to them. In fact, 203 Forest supporters in attendance tonight. Thank you for your support and thank you for your patience with tonight's stream. Here come West Brom now. It's a dangerous ball through to Zahor. Zahor one-on-one with Smith now. And Zahor finds the back of the net. Remains calm and composed. And a left-footed finish beats Smith. And the ball goes into the back of the net. And West Brom have halved the deficit here. And Forest will be disappointed by that. But we're back underway. There's a quality finish by Zahor, a player who George alluded to earlier has had big money moves in his career. Finds himself gaining fitness with West Brom under the 23s. And it was a touch of class there from the forward. And West Brom are back in this game. And George, I guess now it's up to Forest to try and get that momentum back and try and get that 2-goal advantage.
Absolutely. As you said, it's not every day you come up against a man who cost £8 million, 3 years ago now. He's a big name striker, you'd say, at this championship level. Certainly was a couple of years ago. So it's now about, they've been doing some really good stuff, Forest have. They're playing at a really good tempo, getting in West Brom's faces during that first 45 minutes. Obviously, fitness is going to have some say, but they've been doing some really good things tonight. I think if you can get Tyrese Forner on the ball more and drive forward more, I think going forward, Forest have got more than enough pace and attack to keep causing West Brom problems. But as you said, it's just one slight lapse of concentration there. Zahor using his knowledge and his experience to full effect to drive away from defenders, and it's a calm finish under Jordan Smith. But no reason to switch off and keep doing what they're doing.
And here's Smith for Forest, a right-footed clearance up towards Swan. It's cut out there on halfway. Pressure there from Barnes forces the ball down the line, and Fernandez will be there to combine with Smith to clear. Here's Donnelly. Ball full for Josh Barnes. Konate not quite on his toes there. West Brom nip in and clear the ball. Here's Cleary. Sam Sanders tightly on him there to get the tackle in. West Brom have a throw in on the right. Forest are preparing their first change of the evening. Dale Taylor, number 17, will be entering the action very shortly. You'd imagine he'll replace one of the front two, either Will Swan or Julian Larson, as we approach the hour mark. West Brom will respond with a change of their own. Good work there from Swan. West Brom have worked that well. It looked like it was about to go for a throw, but the ball in is cleared away by Sanders, and it will give both sides now the chance. No changes just yet. Oh, there will be changes. West Brom look to play quickly there, but the referee pulls it back for the substitutions, and it will be Jamie Soul to come on for the visitors. But first, Dale Taylor replaces Atif Konate. So the two aforementioned forwards remain on, and Dale Taylor will join them. I think Julian Larson might drop in to the number 10 role, which is now vacant, with Konate going off and Dale Taylor more of an out-and-out forward. Will line up alongside Will Swan. And the change for West Brom sees Owen Windsor replaced by Jamie Soul. So a like-for-like replacement for West Brom. But the Forest change seeing a slight tweak, with Larson dropping into the number 10 and Dale Taylor lining up alongside Will Swan up front. And George, I guess it goes to show the options Andy Reid has at his disposal. Can take Konate off, but Dale Taylor coming on just as good as a player and a goal scorer.
Yeah, absolutely. He's been scoring a lot of goals at a lower level than this season. A very exciting prospect, I'm sure many Forest fans are very excited about. Obviously, Konate's had a very good game as well. He's been picking up some decent spaces in that final third. Just break away here, it's a horse through again, and it's a great block that is by, I think, Sam Sanders there to put him off his stride. But no, Konate's been very good, picking up pockets of space, playing in behind almost Swan and Larson. His final pass is sometimes lacking. Maybe that's an area of his game that needs to work on, that decision making. But a very skillful player, very exciting player, and to bring a player like Dale Taylor on, who's obviously got a lot of potential, it's a very positive move. And obviously Andy Reid is wanting that third goal because he thinks this game is here to be won and also secured.
Here come West Brom now, looking to build on the momentum of getting a goal back. But Sol's pass there is heavy. Finn back forced into the stand there to retrieve the ball. Just under 30 minutes remain here at Meadow Lane. Forest lead 2-1. Two first half goals from the Reds as Ollie Hammond gave Andy Reid's side the lead. Will Swan doubled that before the break, but Kenneth Zahor has halved the deficit. As Smith clears up field now. Up towards Taylor. He's a good presence up there, but he's ruled offside. Good pressure from Forest leads to winning a throw on halfway. Finback will look to get the Reds moving quickly. Just after that little bit of momentum in the second half, Forest to get themselves going again. And that ball will run through to Smith. Looks like West Brom will be making another change very shortly. Reese Hall preparing himself in the dugout for the visitors. And here comes that second change for West Brom. It'll be Reese Hall to come on. He'll replace Kevin Joshua, number 5 for West Brom. The central defender making way. And on comes Reese Hall for Albion. Looks like another like-for-like switch. Hall filling in there at centre half alongside captain Caleb Taylor. And West Brom get us back underway. Finn back in possession now. Plenty of bodies in front of him. Looks for Hammond's run. Hammond tussles with Teixeira. West Brom get the ball clear. Good strength from Sanders. Helps Forest win back possession. Josh Barnes. And there's a foul on Sanders, which has been pulled back. Andy Reid deep in discussion there with Dave Rogers as he potentially looks to his bench again to freshen things up this evening. 65 minutes on the clock. Gibson Hammond, a potential game changer off the bench. Billy Fuster too. As Smith looks to play the ball forward towards Taylor, he wins the flick there. Hammond a willing runner as always, but it's cut out by the West Brom defence and it's a foul there. Played quickly towards Cleary. Good turn from Cleary. Cleary into the penalty area now. Sanders needs to be careful, but he's given the penalty away. The referee points to the spot. It was a fantastic turn initially from Cleary. A good burst of pace into the penalty area. Sanders looked to match him stride for stride. Went in for the challenge before he could pull the trigger, but he's caught Cleary and the referee points to the spot. A chance now for West Brom to get themselves on level terms. It will be that man, Kenneth Zahor, from the spot. Up against Jordan Smith in the Forest goal. As we go into the 67th minute here, it'll be Zahor to try and level it for the visitors. Left-footed striker up against Jordan Smith. Can Smith pull off the save here? Here's Zahor. And it's a fantastic save from Smith. He denies the forward. And Forest retain their lead. A fantastic save from Jordan Smith. Just what Forest needed. Prevented Zahor the equaliser. It was a powerful penalty with his left foot. Smith guessed right and palmed the ball to safety. It was a good save as well. He didn't palm it back into danger. He got the ball clear to his left-hand side, giving Forest a chance to clear their lines. Here come West Brom again. Ball towards Zahor. He'll be looking for a reaction after that missed penalty. Forest in well, and Fornart can bring the ball away now. Can Forest make something of this? Here's Fornart striding away down the left. Good work from Fornart. Acknowledged by the crowd here at Meadow Lane. As we mentioned, Steve Cooper is here tonight with his coaching team ahead of tomorrow's game at the City Ground against Sheffield United. Tickets do remain available for that game. It would be great to see as many of you as possible supporting Steve Cooper's side. And George, just to touch on that penalty save, it was fantastic work from Jordan Smith.
Yeah, Zahor hit that one powerfully. Whether it was as much in the corner as he would have liked, obviously remains unknown. But no, fantastic save from Smith to his left, parried it away as well. Like you said, could have easily parried that back into danger, but away from danger. It's a match of a good performance from him today, and he'll be looking to press Cooper, having not played too much in the first team of late.
Ball forward there from the West Brom goalkeeper. Aaron Donnelly up there. Donnelly recently featured for Northern Ireland under-21s, playing against Russia and Spain. Fantastic experience for young Aaron Donnelly. Can play either left-back or central defence. Gives Andy Reid's side plenty of options. And here's Finn back with the throw-in on halfway. Dale Taylor has been involved for a variety of Northern Ireland youth age groups recently, from under-19s, under-21s. Scored goals at all levels for his nation. He'll be looking for that first senior call-up, no doubt. He'll be catching the eye. It's good pressure there from Swan. Almost gives Larson the opportunity, he wins it back. Not for the first time tonight, Larson, but that's a loose pass from Barnes. Sanders reacts well to win the ball back, and now Forest can build on the right-hand side. It's Fornart. Good footwork from the youngster. Dangerous cross in, but it's well read by Taylor. And Forest have the corner. Fornart certainly impressing this evening. He's still under 23 himself, but he does look head and shoulders above some of the opposition he comes up against sometimes. He would have benefited greatly from that loan spell at Plymouth Argyle last season. Plenty of football under his belt at such a young age for Tyrese. As the corner comes in towards Larson, Fernandez can't quite meet that, but it's a low effort which is well saved. I think it was Will Swan at the back post there, almost adding to his tally for the evening, but he's well denied by the West Bromwich Albion goalkeeper. It's Fornart again in midfield. Loose pass there, met by Sol. Ball over the top towards Cleary, but it's overhit and through to Smith. The penalty saving hero tonight, Jordan Smith. Sam Sanders will no doubt be giving him a pat on the back after the match if it stays as it is. After that tackle which led to the penalty, it was unfortunate, but the referee pointed to the spot. Zahor stood up, but a fantastic Jordan Smith save means that Forest still lead here with just under 20 minutes to play at Meadow Lane. West Brom preparing their third substitute of the evening as Mac Chisholm. Good ball out there to Finn back on the Forest right-hand side. Picks out Larson's run into the box. It's a clever run from Larson. Can he win a corner there? Taylor's across to meet him. Gets the ball away. A loose pass there from Albion, and it's met by Fornart. Seems to be popping up everywhere this evening. Fornart unlucky to give the foul away there. West Brom get it moving quickly with Forest slightly out of position. But a loose pass there from Sol. Tried to force that one, and it runs out for a Forest throw. Here is the West Brom change. In fact, it's Josh Short who will enter the action. He replaces Zach Delaney, number 6. And that third change is made. Josh Shaw, another defender, looks like he'll line up at left back for Albion. That change sees the initial left back, Zach Ashworth, move inside to central defence. So it'll be a new challenge now for the likes of Finn back, Julian Larson, Tyrese Fornar on that side. West Brom looking to move the ball around in the midfield area. Fornar across to put on pressure along with Dale Taylor. And that pressure leads to a loose pass, and Hammond with the outside of his boot looks for Swan. It's an unfortunate, sorry, it was a good ball from Hammond, but unfortunate not to pick out Swan's run. I think Hammond needed to be slightly 5 or 10 yards deeper there, but the ball carried on through to the goalkeeper, who cleared for a throw. "74 minutes on the clock here at Meadow Lane. Forest still leading 2-1. Ollie Hammond and Will Swan scoring in the first half. Kenneth Zahort halving the deficit in the second half, and then was denied from the penalty spot. Jordan Smith with a fantastic save to his left preserves Forest's lead. The game becoming a little bit scrappy now in midfield. Forest will look to get that fast energy and quick play back underway. But this final 15 minutes will be a good test for Andy Reid's side. Can they see out this 2-1 lead? Can they add to it further? Can they make it more comfortable for themselves? It's a ball in towards Cleary. Referee has awarded a second penalty. It's a handball on Sanders. Sanders was very tight to Cleary there, and he's adjudged to have handled the ball across, covering on the right hand side of the penalty area. Very tight to his marker. We'll have to see that one a bit more closely after the game. It did look to strike Sanders on the arm, but whether it was intentional or not remains to be seen. But the penalty stands. Interesting to see that Zahor will not be stepping up for this penalty. It's Jamie Andrews, West Brom's number 7, to try his luck from the spot this time. Jordan Smith already with one penalty save this evening, and he'll be looking to try and replicate that again this time. And here is Jamie Andrews, another left-footed West Bromwich Albion forward, to try his luck from the spot. Jordan Smith making himself as big as possible in that goal. Can Smith be the hero for the second occasion? Here is Andrews, and he does find the net this time. It's 2-2 here at Meadow Lane. Andrews from the penalty spot. Just under 15 minutes to play here, and Forest have seen their 2-0 lead disappear in this second half. Jamie Andrews, left-footed penalty, and to his credit, George, a good finish from the spot.
Absolutely, a good finish from the spot, sending Smith the wrong way. Whether it was a penalty or not does, remain to be seen after the game. I'm sure Andy Reid will have a strong view on that post-match. The players looked absolutely furious with that decision. It looked a harsh one from up here in the gantry at Meadow Lane. It looked as if Sanders' arms were both by his side, not necessarily in an unnatural position, but the ball must have obviously bounced up and hit him in the arm, which is, as I said, a harsh call. But the linesman and referee clearly had a good view of that one. But it sets up for an enthralling final 15 minutes here at Meadow Lane. It must be said, I think Forest before that were really catching West Brom on the break at times. West Brom throwing men forward and obviously getting their equaliser in the end. But it should be a very good game. I think both sides can probably sense a winner here.
Here's Dale Taylor now for Forest. Can he work some room? Not quite before he's crowded out. Taylor gets the ball away. Taylor up against Taylor. Forest's number 17 against West Brom's number 4 share the surname. Here comes Donnelly now to get the Reds moving forward. Fornah showing as an option, Swan with a clever run, but it's well met by the head of goalkeeper Ted Can. There's Andy Reid and Dave Rogers again in conversation. Will they look to the bench again to freshen it up? I think there's still a few complaints about the awarding of the penalty, the handball on Sam Sanders. It's obviously frustrating for Andy Reid and his side to not be able to hold on to the 2-0 lead. But I guess it presents a different opportunity now for them to see how they can react after such a disappointment. Andy Reid will be looking for a reaction from his players to see how they deal with that setback. Here's Sol on the left-hand side. Bursts forward with pace. Sol, left-footed cross towards the back post, but Cleary and Zahor both offered towards the penalty area in the 6-yard box, and the ball flashes across for a Forest throw. Just over 10 minutes remain here. Forest get the ball clear. Here's Larson. Been having his shirt pulled there. There's an obvious foul by Jamie Andrews, the man to get West Bromwich Albion on equal terms tonight. He's booked for the foul on Larson. Larson turned him well there. Moved away from his marker before being pulled back. And that'll be a frustrating one for Andy Reid. Forest were moving forward with pace. Plenty of options ahead of Larson there. But Andrews taking one for the team. Here's Fernandez out to back. Forest will keep looking for those opportunities. Their head won't be bowed by those 2 goals. Good work from Hammond, but West Brom work it clear. Here's Sol. Oh, Shaw and Zahor not quite on the same wavelength there as Fornah. Swan is away, but the goalkeeper is out quickly there. Swan might get a second opportunity here. The goalkeeper well out of his goal. Can he find a teammate to take advantage? And it breaks down for Forest. An opportunity there with Ted Can out of his goal for a few moments. But Swan couldn't quite find a teammate in time, and West Brom recover. And it's back with Can. This long ball comes forward from Can. It's well watched by Back. Sol finds Zahor. Ball towards Cleary on the left-hand side. And it was Fernandez to get the final touch there. It'll be a corner for the visitors. Confirmation that there are indeed 203 supporters inside Meadow Lane this evening. Thank you once again for your support. Andy Reid always mentions that the Forest supporters coming down to watch the games can certainly make the difference for his team. Gives them that extra 5%, 10%. And they'll look to reward the crowd this evening with a 3rd goal in the final 10 minutes. Forest under 23 spreading their games this season between Meadow Lane, the City Ground and Alfreton Town. And it'll be Smith to clear upfield for the Reds. Up towards Swan. I think Barnes and Fornah have swapped for the time being. Fornah sitting just in front of the back 4 as we normally see him. Barnes pushing up one. Here's Zahor. Can he work space for a shot? He's done well there to turn away and get a cross into the box, but Barnes is there to the loose ball. Taylor works that well, the West Brom skipper. Here's Sol. Can he work space for a strike? Fernandez gets a block in there. West Brom coming again. Strong second half from the visitors, but back doesn't allow that to run through and concedes the throw. Just the one change made so far this evening by Andy Reid. Dale Taylor replacing Atif Konate in this second half. Deep in conversation again with his assistant Dave Rogers. Whether he'll make another change to freshen it up for the final 7 or 8 minutes remains to be seen. Here's a throw in for Albion. Long throw comes into the box from Zach Ashworth. Bounces in the box, but Sanders is alert to clear. Swan can't quite get that under control, but he's in and around it to try and win it back for a second time. West Brom work it well. They've been neat in possession in this second half. But the cross there from Ashworth looks slightly too heavy. And Donnelly over there. West Brom calling for a free kick. And it's still 2-2 here as we approach the final 5 minutes. Forest 2-0 up at the break. Kenneth Zahor got one back for the visitors before that contentious penalty gave West Brom an equaliser. Forest will be looking to have a strong final 5 or so minutes here to get themselves back in front. Here's Taylor. It's been impressive for West Brom tonight. Strides out of defence and finds Cleary. Tricky customer is Cleary. Full of pace, good footwork. And there's a foul there on Hammond. Here's Fernandez, out to back. Forest remaining patient, looking to move the ball forward when they can, and it'll be a throw-in deep on the right-hand side now. Here's Taylor. I think he'll give that one to back, get himself in the penalty area. Hammond offers short and wins another throw-in. And that'll be a Forest throw. 2-2 here at Meadow Lane. Julian Larson. He's tackled over on the right-hand side, and West Brom get the ball to halfway. That ball stays in. Here's Fornart. Good composure from Fornart. He was closed down quickly there by Cleary. But he gets Forest moving upfield. It's Donnelly. Looks for the pass inside, forced backwards to Sanders. It's Fernandez. Donnelly almost meets that one, but it will run for a West Brom throw. Into the final few minutes here at a chilly Meadow Lane. Andy Reid will be hoping his side can create a couple more chances before the game ends this evening. Not too many clear-cut chances for the Reds in this second half. But here they come now with Fernandez. Finn back. Inside to Hammond. Back to Fornart. Looks to put a ball in on the right-hand side towards Taylor. Push there on Taylor, but the referee remains unmoved. Can back deliver the cross here. He can, but West Brom get bodies in the way. Second ball comes in there. A loose touch from Cleary gives Taylor the chance to strike with the loose ball, but his shot goes a yard or so over the crossbar. And there's a West Brom player down here, I think with cramp. So we'll just have a few moments break and gives Forest the chance to take some instructions on board for the final few minutes here at Meadow Lane. Fornart comes across to talk to Andy Reid, take some fluids on board, and George Forrest will be looking to get that winner with just a few minutes left now.
Absolutely, I think both sides can sense that both teams are lacking in energy or deteriorating in energy. So I think both sides play with such pace and intensity, especially going forward. There's real chance for it only takes one slip or one lapse of judgment and you're away on goal. But I think Forest, Julian Larson and Will Swan tonight have provided real energy going forward, always on the shoulder, always looking to chase the channels and chase lost cause. I saw Will Swan a minute ago closing out that keeper there, could have led to another goal. But no, I think Andy Reid will be satisfied with this one tonight. I think on the balance of play, a point may be a fair result the way that Forest dominated the first half and West Brom have come into this second half. I think they've got obviously the 2 penalties and the goal, and they have won more second balls and more duels, but Forest have been limited to more counter-attacks more than anything. But there's a big chance here.
Let's not forget this is Forest's first campaign in the Premier League 2 Division 2, so they'll come up against plenty of good sides at this level. Sam Sanders there defending well. Here's Larson. Taylor again, probably West Brom standout player this evening. Shut down anything Forest have tried to do in this second half. And can West Brom end with a winner of their own? No, they can't, because Jordan Smith has just pulled off an absolutely superb save from close range. It looked like Cleary had the goal gaping in front of him, but Smith with his leg turns the ball over. And that's his second fantastic save of the evening, having denied Zahor from the penalty spot earlier in this second half. Absolutely superb save there from Jordan Smith. Could he have just helped Forest hold on to the point there? And it'll be another corner for West Brom. It's the fourth official. Luke Lazenby holds up 4 additional minutes. Forest will just be looking to clear this danger as quickly as possible. Huge save there from Jordan Smith. Here comes the delivery from the right hand side. It's a dangerous ball in. Zach Ashworth gets the header, but it's comfortably over the crossbar. Now can Forest forge a chance of their own as we move into the first minute of 4 additional here at Meadow Lane. Jordan Smith clears that ball upfield. West Brom keep the ball in play. Their tails will be up now. Felt like they should have just been ahead moments ago, but Jordan Smith with that fantastic left-footed save. Oh, and that's a loose pass, gives Taylor the chance to break forward now for Forest. Has numbers ahead of him. Good burst forward from Larson, and Taylor finds Larson. Can Larson win it here? Left-footed effort falls agonisingly wide of the far post. It was a fantastic move from Forest. Taylor winning back possession. Larson showing a burst of pace deep into the 92nd, 93rd minute. He's played through perfectly by Taylor, and his first time finish falls just wide of the post. And George, a huge chance there for Forest, moments after having almost fallen behind.
No, you got a feel for him there as well. He did everything right. Forest did everything right there. Brilliant tenacity from Taylor to win the loose ball. Fantastic run. As soon as Taylor got the ball, he's seeing Larson charging forward with that run, and always wanted to make that angle for himself, but just rolled it inches wide that far post. It's such a you got a feel for him. It was nearly a very precise finish, but no, we'll have to see if they get another chance before the end of the game.
Just goes to show the fitness levels that Andy Reid has instilled in his Forest team this season. An absolute turn of pace there from Julian Larsson to get himself ahead of the West Brom defence. Inch perfect pass from Taylor, but the ball, as we mentioned, falls just wide of the post. Into the final minute or so here at Meadow Lane. Forest led 2-0 this evening. Ollie Hammond and Will Swan giving Forest the lead at half-time. Kenneth Zahor got one back for West Brom before the equaliser from the penalty spot. Jordan Smith saved an earlier penalty from Zahor, but the second one was converted as West Brom see an attack breakdown. Sol is penalised for a handball there. And can Forest end with one last attack? Smith with a big clearance upfield, headed up into the air, more up than out. And it'll fall for Hammond. Works it wide to back. Back closed down quickly, but still gets the ball forward. And Hammond, good turn there from Hammond. Can Larsson work a yard of space? He wins the throw in deep in the corner. Forest supporters here tonight urging the Reds on. It's been a strong finish from the Reds. That late winner could have gone either way. Smith's superb save before Larsson dragging just wide when through on goal. And it will be Aaron Donnelly over from left back to deliver into the penalty area for one last Forest chance. Donnelly's throw. Can Forest make the first contact? They can through Finn back. Sanders is up there too. Just need the ball to settle now, Forest. Donnelly's cross. It's going to fall here for Larsson. Larsson back onto his left foot, gets the ball inside, backs in there. Still pinballing around, it's Taylor. Taylor shoots wide, but it's taken a deflection and it will be a Forest corner. Forest ending very strongly here. I think that ball could have ended up anywhere. It fell to Taylor, and there's a block inside the box, which sends it wide for a corner. And it'll be Larsson to deliver. Larsson's neat footwork in there, leading to the opportunity. His corner's slightly short, but Barnes is there to recycle possession. Larsson back into the area, falls for Fornart. Fornart will claim that as a... And it's headed back into the area. It's going to fall here for Fornart. He can't quite keep his effort down, Tyrese Fornart. And there goes the referee's whistle. You can see from both sides how much energy they've put into tonight's game. The majority of the players now just taking a breather after a frantic final 5 minutes here at Meadow Lane, and an enthralling 90 minutes in general. It's finished here 2-2. Forest did lead 2-0 at half-time. Oliver Hammond and Will Swan giving the Reds the half-time lead. But West Brom fought back in the second half. 2 goals, one from Kenneth Zahor, and an equaliser from the penalty spot sees West Brom leave with a share of the spoils this evening. It'll be a learning curve for Andy Reid's side at this level and in the players' development. They'll learn a lot from this in the future. And George, just your final thoughts on that one. It could have gone either way in the final few minutes, so I guess a draw is a fair result overall. Yeah,
I think final few minutes aside, a draw probably is a fair result. I think Forest had the better of the chances and the better play the first half. West Brom, obviously, you expect a reaction from them, especially through Kenneth Zahor, who leads the line. We've spoken about him on here before, big money player. A big reaction from them in the second half. But then you look at the final 10 minutes, it's a chance to go either way, and Forest could have had 3 goals in that last 2 minutes there. But no, I think a really good game of football, played at a really good tempo, a great advert for the Premier League too, and it's a testament to the club that we've got this category 1 status now. We play in these type of games and play against these type of academies who are clearly, West Brom come here tonight, they're second in the table, got some good players. Another fantastic learning experience for Andy Reid's side, and important to get a point and produce another good performance after 2 disappointing results in the league. So no, a lot to take from that, and a lot positive to take as well.
Yes, it's a point for the Reds here this evening. A productive evening for both sides, both leaving with a share of the spoils. Thank you once again for tuning in on the stream tonight. Again, apologies for the first half interruption. Steve Cooper's men are back in action tomorrow night at the City Ground, hosting Sheffield United in a big clash in the Sky Bet Championship. Get yourselves down to the City Ground to show your support, and we will join you again very soon. Thank you again for your support tonight. Come on, you Reds.